Welcome one and all to the review of Legacy Buzzsaw. Now guys, you notice that we're actually starting off a little bit different than normal by actually looking at the box. However, I felt with Buzzsaw we needed to address something that is very off with this packaging, because what you're seeing right here, that is not at all what the figure looks like. Maybe molding wise, but there are a couple things we'll address really quickly. Now, if you know anything about this figure, you'll know that whereas it shows clear wings, this guy actually has smoky black. That's kind of a big problem whenever the back of your box is supposed to accurately showcase your figure and it's completely off. Another thing that it really messed up on is they have oversaturated the colors on this thing to make it super bright. And I think the reason they did that was to try and capitalize on his original look. Because as we'll see with this figure, he is not this bright, because this entire box back is really pretty much a lie. However, despite his package more homaging his 1990s figure, I'm actually glad that they went in a little bit of a different direction for his figure in Legacy. Now, as we can see, him and Waspinator are rocking the beast mode aesthetic quite well. One of the things that I have always enjoyed is how that they didn't include a gimmick like they did on the Thrilling 30 Waspinator. That thing just got annoying. This thing is just trying to go straight for the beast mode. However, I do have to say that while the original colors do work for Waspinator, I do like the darker colors on Buzzsaw, because this kind of allows you to input your own imagination on this character, because while he has appeared in comics here and there, for the most part his lore is kind of whatever you want to input on him, whether he's a reprogrammed Maximal from a stasis pod, or the G1 guy returned as one of the Beast Warriors. And that's what I like about a lot of the new figures that they're coming out with, is even though they're using pre-established molds for pre-established characters with a backstory, when they input it for a new character like this that has very little, it gives you the freedom to kind of put whatever backstory with this character that you like the best. Now, these deceptive Decepticon descendants are no better than their ancestors, because like them, they're a bunch of punks that need a bunch of flunkies to flank them, and as we can see, Scorponok and Shadow Panther are fulfilling that role quite well. And much like the originator of this mold, we can see that Buzzsaw fits in with these creepy cretins, and I have to say that that is very much a tribute to how awesome the Kingdom molds are. Now, one thing that I do want to go ahead and I want to give you a little bit of a close-up, because I mean, if you have the Waspinator mold, you know how awesome it is for some of these details, especially with the multi-compound eye. One of the things that I have always enjoyed is how that they didn't include a gimmick like they did on the Thrilling 30 Waspinator. That thing just got annoying. This thing is just trying to go straight for the beast mode. However, as good as this beast mode may be, how does that actually translate in robot mode? Because we know one-to-one, he's not exactly the same as Waspinator. And here we have our answer, because this is exactly how it translates in robot mode. Now, one of the things that I do have to mention is that when you can start comparing him to Waspinator in robot mode, I will gladly trade picked out detail for the little bit of a gradual fade that they have on the legs. I like that. I like how it just contrasts nicely between the black and the yellow. And then also the other things that really stand out on this figure is that while his predominant colors are green, for this guy, the little bits that are like the bug eyes and the tops of the shoulders, and then to top it all off, you have like this Decepticon or Predacon purple. It's a pleasant sort of combination of colors. But one of the things that I am always digging is whenever they show the, probably in my opinion, what is the true Predacon symbol, because there's been a couple iterations, but the Beast Wars Predacons were the ones to rock this emblem and to really put Predacons on the map, maybe even outshining their G1 counterparts. Now, if you're looking at this and going, is that the weapon he comes with? Technically yes, and technically no. Because Waspinator, when I got his gun, it came with an additional one, and if you've seen some of our other videos, This piece right here, the needler piece, is actually a third-party kit. Now, what I've actually done is I've attached the stock weapon to kind of form the back of the gun, very similar to what Waspinator's is. And the thing is even though he's holding this vastly different than Waspinator's gun, again, because this is a different character, I thought, well, what if his could launch the little needle missiles like Waspinator's does, but he just holds his gun a little bit different. And again, it's to give a little bit of distinction from the progenitor of this mold. However, the one thing that also helps him to stand out is this more standard robot mode head, which the original Waspinator and Buzzsaw had both the mutant head and they had their standard robot mode head, which looks pretty much like this. And we can see here that just as good as he looked with his friends in beast mode, we can see that with his flyer homies here, he looks awesome as well. And man, it is so cool just to kind of have a unique sort of Predacon in the mix that, oh man, it was already using an awesome mold. And while it may not be as cool as Pterosaur in my opinion, he definitely kills it. So here we can see the Predacon posse squaring off with some of the Maximals, some heavy hitters, along with one of its most fleet of foot. And I gotta say that it actually looks kind of cool having this 3v3 thing, and obviously I like how Buzzsaw is kind of like standing on this, you know, piece of machinery or this little scaffolding, whatever you want to call it, and he still looks awesome. His colors make him stand out from all the others, well, almost all the others in this little collection here, which in my opinion, just cements how good of a figure he is. So in conclusion, guys, I am very happy to have Buzzsaw in my collection. I initially wasn't gonna get him. I actually canceled my order, but one day I was just strolling through Walmart and there he was, and I thought, you know what, let's give this guy a shot. And I can definitely say I didn't regret it. Despite the initial, like we said at the outset, his package is not exactly telling you the truth, but the figure himself, once you get him out and everything, is really awesome, at least in my opinion. So anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the look at Legacy Buzzsaw, and until next time, guys, we'll see you in another review.